Hi, I'm Hillary and welcome to my closet. Today I'm going to film my Fendi collection. I have 7 Fendi bags, 2 bag charms. I'm not going to do the bag charms in this video. I could do a bag charm collection. I'm probably going to film a bag accessories video because I have a bunch of Fendi scarves. I really like Fendi scarves for whatever reason. They create cool patterns and they're pretty good colors and they match a lot of my bags. So the way I'm gonna lay this out is I'm gonna start with the nano bags, then I'm gonna go by bag family. So I'm gonna go with talk about my origami, my mini baguettes, and my peekaboos. So we're gonna start with the nano bags, tiny bags. As Cassie says, tiny bag energy. And I fully love the tiny bag energy. So much that my first Fendi bag was the nano peekaboo that she bought. She bought it in the yellow, the Fendi yellow, and with the gold hardware. Anyways, I'm very much a blue person. I love blue. It's my favorite color. It also is kind of my neutral. Anyway, so I went, as soon as she saw it, I looked up Fendi. She's a big Fendi fan, but the baguettes weren't really drawing me in. But she posted an unboxing of this, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. So I looked up Fendi, went to Fendi Rodeo Drive, and made my first purchase. I was originally there for shoes. I was looking for shoes for my Vegas trip, and I ended up with a $1,400 nano bag. Priorities. Anyways, this bag is so stinky cute. I love it. It's still, to this day, it is the mascot of tiny bag energy for me. It's got the big handle, kind of like the odd shape. I love it. I usually try to take it on every vacation I go on, and then I usually take it to cocktail bars and post it next to cocktails. I don't know. It's, pictures of the traveling cocktail bars. So I originally brought it on my birthday trip to Vegas, and my cousin's wife had named it Polly. So this is the only bag that I have that has a name. Her name is Polly because it's the Polly pocket purse. There is an actual so one main difference between this model and the latest models is they actually give you a pretty substantial crossbody strap. The latest models use the kind of weird gold chain that it's like, why bother, honestly? For reference, I'm 5'8", and I'm about a size 14. So it hits kind of where you'd want it, crossbody. Like it's, I have it on the 3rd highest size. It could go down longer. It's adjustable. Anyways, I'll sometimes use this strap on other purses. So it's a pretty good little strap. So after that, this is gonna be I'm gonna kind of do chronological order within the family. So the next one I bought is, you'll notice a trend of like the baguettes that I have are like wild and embellished, and my peekaboos will probably be very practical. So I didn't really they didn't make the mini baguettes in this colorway, and I have issues with how a medium baguette fits on me. But I was just so obsessed with this, and there's something about a sequin Fendi bag that's just like they shine and they reflect like no other. So you can, when I first got this, I was using it as a bag charm, but I have used this on a night out or like a shopping day. Basically, there's a little pocket that can fit a couple cards, and it can fit my AirPods and keys. If I want a lipstick, I can sacrifice the AirPods for the lipstick. So the essentials for you need. All you need is cards, keys, and cards, keys, lipstick, or AirPods. So this also comes with a chain strap that's like, looks really stupid crossbody. But one thing I did see Cassie Thorpe do was use a Fendi belt. I didn't feel like buying a Fendi belt, so I just went to like Burlington Coat Factory Yeah, I think that's where I got this. And I just bought this kind of thick Michael Kors chain belt. So now I attach it to that and it looks pretty cool. One of the older Fendi sisters really loves her nano baguettes, and so she usually has some sort of nano baguette on her as an accessory. Even if she's wearing a normal bag, she has a little nano baguette. So yeah, this was my second Fendi purchase. So if you saw my Rome haul, my newest bag in my collection is the Nano Peekaboo. This is their latest version. Like I said in that video, go watch it, it's fun. This comes with like a really pointless chain strap that I will never use. Like, it's so thin and insubstantial. It's like, why bother? Anyways, it's still cute. It looks really good. It's comfortable to hold. Anyways, this one fits. This one actually fits a decent amount of stuff. So both of these fit pretty much the same amount of stuff, weirdly, considering this one's bigger. But this one has a little pocket in it, so you can fit cards, keys, a bullet lipstick, and AirPods. I know, wild. So you can actually fit everything for your night out, as opposed to having to sacrifice like you do with this one. So this one fits about the same. I could kind of fit, I don't have my phone on, I'm using my phone to film. My iPhone 16 fits, but it sticks out pretty much, so it's kind of like, what's the point? But in a pinch, you could actually put an iPhone 16, normal iPhone 16 in here. It does not have the card pocket, which is kind of unfortunate. That would have been really nice. But it's suede lined, and it fits all your essentials for a night out. Cards, keys, lipstick. You could actually probably fit like a liquid lipstick or a lip gloss in this, versus this one can't. It's really just a bullet lipstick. So this is my latest purchase and the last of the Nano family. I don't know, I really like Nano bags. They're not for everyone, but if you really love the tiny bag energy, there's something about a tiny bag. So next we're gonna talk about the origami. And I also consider this essential to the origami purchase. I don't think they make these anymore, but I feel this is an essential part of the origami. So this is the origami. Hopefully they don't get rid of this one with the switch over. I know the Fendi First is probably going away, but this feels kind of like their entry level bag now, this and the by the way, so I don't see them getting rid of that. That kind of feels like a stupid business decision. Anyways, this is the origami. Fun fact, I absolutely hate bucket bags, yet somehow this bucket bag type thing is my favorite bag. Go figure. And I don't really like shoulder bags, yet I find this really easy to use and travel with. One thing I really like is that it basically just sits on the shoulder incredibly well. I don't necessarily have wide, but it also has a lot, a pretty long drop. One of my problems with the medium baguette is that the drop of the shoulder is so small that it kind of just like ends up here. A lot of shoulder bags end up there, but this one has a really good drop. I don't have like the biggest biggest arms, but I still have substantial arms. I like how, one thing about bucket bags is that they're still very open. This one, stays firmly pretty closed. And I really like, it becomes more apparent when you get the bigger versions, but I really like that in a pinch, you can turn it into a little tote bag. And like I said, I considered, when I bought this, I considered this as part of the package deal. This is the origami, they call it the fortune teller charm. And it is an actual working fortune teller charm. And then you open it up and, it has fortunes. I guess in Italy, one of the main fortunes is paradise or hell. So that's the very Italian twist that they did on this game that is pretty much universal to every every childhood. Every culture seems to have a different name for it, but we all kind of have the same game. One thing I will say about the wear and tear of this is it's not really meant for how much I've actually showed off the actual charm. So as you can see, I don't know if you can really see, but like where it kind of bends, the paint is worn off. So I really need to stop doing demos with it, but it's really hard to not do demos with it because it's just, everyone's like, is that an actual real thing? And it's like, yes, it is a real thing. Anyway, so that's the origami bag. I really like this bag. I want to add another color. I might get a canvas one. They'll make these in kind of cool canvas colors, not necessarily the traditional black and brown. Apparently, a trend with me and Fendi is I do not like the sort of the things the brand is known for. So the black and brown canvas or the medium baguette. Go figure. Either version of the medium baguette. I don't really like the vintage versions either. So anyways, this is my origami. Highly recommend this bag if you need an everyday small bag that can kind of carry a decent amount of stuff. This can fit pretty much everything you need for, your daily essentials. 100% pick this up. You will not be unhappy. This is kind of and also it's a really good travel bag. So that's the origami. So next we have mini baguettes. Despite not liking the medium baguette, take a shot every time I mention that, I actually really like the mini baguette. I think it's a great little crossbody bag. I'd like to add a full leather version, just kind of as a more less shouty bag. Not that I won't wear these bags in everyday scenarios, but it's still less shouty. So this was my first mini baguette. So it's the neon yellow with snake details, white snake, water snake detail from the Marc Jacobs capsule collection. This was the second drop. So the first drop was around Chinese New Year, so it was a lot of black and red. And then the second drop was a lot of neon yellows. Anyways, I think this is the coolest thing ever. Again, there's something about the way Fendi sequins just sparkle, like no other brand that I've seen. One thing that's also kind of cool is the card pocket. It's also that same silk snakeskin detail. It is satin, so this part here is satin, and this is leather. Proof that I do in fact use this bag is I went to a screening and I was hoping to get one of the actors' autographs. That didn't happen, but I got a Sharpie for it because I wanted him to sign a book, and the cap came off, and it kind of wrote all over it. I did ask them at Fendi if it was worth fixing, and they were like, no. Also, it's only really worth fixing to me because it doesn't really, no one's really gonna see it until you point it out. So the reason I like the mini baguettes is because the crossbody strap is, for this bag it also has that same snakeskin. The crossbody strap hits pretty low. So on me, it hits about the waist. The medium baguettes could do this without buying the adjustable strap, and I'd be a little bit more inclined to them, but they don't. So basically, I really like the way these hit. Also, it's kind of the perfect size. Also, it's the perfect size for anything every day. I don't carry tons of stuff, so this fits kind of all of my everyday essentials. A large collar holder, some makeup, AirPods, keys, phone. I tend to have smaller phones, so I only have an iPhone 16. Before I had an iPhone 12 mini. So this is my first mini baguette. This was kind of my first substantial Fendi bag. And this is the first one I bought with my current house. One thing about wear and tear that kind of happens with, or at least will happen with sequins and particularly the mini baguette, if you wear it crossbody a lot. When I first got this, I was wearing this with sweaters. So as you can see, well, I don't know if you can really see, but a lot of fluff kind of caught at the top edge of the I don't know if you can really see, but kind of some sweater fluff kind of happened at the top part of it where the flap happens. So I don't recommend wearing your sequined mini baguettes with sweaters. Something I learned. But yeah, this is more of a summer bag anyways. So my latest mini baguette. So I'm kind of really obsessed with Stingray. I think it's one of the cooler exotics, mainly because it's actually pretty durable. And also you can get this kind of really cool pearlescent effect with it, based on how the skin kind of has these white pearlescent sections, and then you have the eye. It kind of annoys me when brands use Stingray but don't play into that effect of it. It has some really, Bulgaria has a couple Stingray bags that they brought out, and they don't really play into that Stingray. Like, they paint it over the eye and they don't really have the gold contrast with the white. It's kind of annoying, but that's kind of the coolest part of Stingray. So this one, the reason it's my first Stingray bag is, I don't know if you can tell, but there's this metallic shift to it. So when they made this, when they tanned this, they put aluminum in the tanning process. So it creates that multicolor effect. So even though you don't, and so that multicolor effect latched on to where normally there'd be the white kind of pearls. Instead now it's kind of this metallic. And I really loved the peekaboo version of this, but also as a mini baguette, it is totally fine. I'm totally satisfied with the mini baguette. I just needed something in this way, because who knows if they'll ever do this again. Fendi will sometimes repeat stuff, like they've kind of repeated the same blue that I have in my peekaboo in various ways, but who knows if they'd ever do this again. So I just had to get it because I just love that multi-chrome effect. So like the other, what they tend to do with the mini baguettes is have a chain strap and then have the top part be whatever leather the bag's in. So that's also in that silver Stingray. And then the interior is entirely leather lined in a silver leather. One kind of disappointing thing is I kind of wish the pocket part was Stingray, but that's a minor quibble because, you know, the Marc Jacob one uses snake, but this one did. So those are my mini baguettes. To kind of achieve purse pieces, I'd like one Celleria style in a color that I like. I might seek out a blue one. Everybody buys a blue one, blue Fendi bag. Blue's kind of my neutral, so I'd probably like it in this color. So I can probably find it on the secondhand market, or they kind of tend to bring this color back every summer. Most of my Fendi bags are actually from spring summer. This is spring summer. This is spring summer. This was spring summer. And then my final bag was spring summer. So I have a trend. This might actually technically, it came out in the summer. It's not technically spring summer, but it also came out in the summer. So then my last bag is my beloved peekaboo. The peekaboo is my favorite Fendi bag. I think if you're a Fendi person, you're either a baguette person or you're a peekaboo person. You know, you'll mix and match, but you're, in terms of your ride or die everyday bag, you're either a baguette person or you're a peekaboo person. And I am a peekaboo person. Specifically, I really love the mini peekaboo. I think it is a great size for an everyday bag. And though when you first get it, like dealing with the clasps here, like trying to get stuff out of it, is kind of annoying. Eventually the leather softens, and so that becomes a lot easier. So this is my This is my first peekaboo. I have a couple many, you know. I plan to buy more. So this is my peekaboo. It was from last spring, summer, and it is the Celeria style. So the Celeria style uses this Curio Romano leather, and then it whenever you see this big stitching, it's usually a combination of Curio Romano leather, this type of stitching, and silver hardware. They don't tend to do gold with Celeria for whatever reason. So she makes a very good top handle moment as like a chic brunch moment. You know, you want to go to brunch or like kind of like casual drinks. She looks great that way. When I pretty much use this bag every day. Unfortunately, kind of replaced the origami. I feel bad for the origami, but you know, I still bring her out. I don't really like to wear crossbody. I'll do it in a pinch where like I really don't absolutely care about looks or style or anything. Because crossbody, the top handle sort of hits here, and that always just looks weird to me. It's like, why are you crossbending in a top handle bag? But I wear this on my shoulder primarily. So it has pretty good shoulder drop. It hits about right here. It hits about my hip, upper hip. And it's a great little shoulder bag. It doesn't really like keep falling off. One thing I like about the peekaboos is that, you know, I mainly wear it open, but if you need to in a pinch, you can close her back up. And she's, you know, locked up a little bit. One thing I will say about the peekaboo is the pockets are kind of completely useless. There's a kind of zipper pocket right here. And I don't use it. It's like, I think if I used it more, it'd be easier to get into, but it's just like really hard to get into there, and I have some coins in there. The other pocket I use a little bit more. It's a kind of little pocket right there. In fact, I have something in there now, a card. That's mainly what I use it for. So if I have a parking ticket or like I collected someone's card, I'll put it in there. So I think if you traveled with like a singular card, you know, it would work for that. I'll do a full review of like what fits in this, but long story short, this is my favorite bag. And it gets me lots of compliments because not a lot of people bought the blue, and then the scarf that I have on it just looks really, really cool. Currently it's in summer way. You know, I don't tend to do a ton of bag charms, but I do really like scarves. I think scarves accent the bag. So yeah, that is my Fendi collection as of now. There will probably be more added. Fendi is my favorite brand. There's other bags that I want from other brands, but Fendi is primarily the brand that I'm always most interested in. They're always bringing out bags that I like. I could be very happily shopping Fendi, only Fendi. I hope you saw some interesting Fendi bags that you don't normally see. I don't think I've ever seen anyone unbox the Marc Jacob one. Not really Stingray either. You know, but yeah, that's the Fendi collection. I'm going to film another video that's the rest of my designer bags. So stick around for that one if you'd like to be notified. Subscribe and turn on the bell. Bye.